since on Monday. That's the legal tampering period. And you're going to hear about a lot of deals being put into place before Wednesday's official opening of the NFL new year.
Woohoo.
So, with that being said, welcome everyone back to another edition of G&T Sports Talk. I am Bobby Thompson.
I'm Julian Gallardi, and yeah, brother, this is going to be a fun show. We have so much stuff to talk about. All these free agents, all these trades have taken place already, all these rumblings. I mean, AB still hasn't been traded yet. That's a saga in itself now. So, do we start with that? Let's just start with that, I guess. That's the most relevant thing at this moment, I would say.
So, all right, what we're going to get into right now is the biggest story of the year right now is Antonio Brown. And for those of you who don't know, I'm pretty sure all of you do, is that Antonio Brown and the Steelers have both agreed to part ways and they want to work out a trade. Well, there's a problem because Antonio Brown is running his mouth, starting some trouble, saying now he wants a new contract when he gets traded. And also, the Steelers want a first-round pick. A first-round pick for a 31-year-old receiver, I don't think that cuts it. But honestly, you know what? If you have so much capital in the draft, like, I'll give you an example. The Oakland Raiders do. They need help at receiver.
And they have
3 first-round picks. Yeah, right?
They don't have anything.
3 first-round picks, and they got the money. They could afford it. And also, listen, if you're going to trade for Antonio Brown, you got to understand what you're getting with this guy. This guy is one of the most productive receivers in the game.
Yeah.
He averages
22 fantasy points a game for the last 6 years. To put in the context for the fantasy football players, that's a crazy amount of production for that long of time.
That's tremendous. He's
22 points a game. PPR league, obviously, but
he is extremely consistent every game, every year.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's just a matter of him
buying into whatever he ends up going.
And also, there was a rumor the other night that he was traded to the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Well, that is true, but he blocked it. So the deal
I'm not surprised
fell.
at all, honestly. Because why in the world would he want to go there? Josh Allen is very inaccurate, and he complains about Big Ben. Imagine Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Also, it's in the middle of nowhere. AB wants to be in the limelight. He likes the spotlight. He does not want to get lost in Buffalo, so that was never going to happen. With him agreeing, he was never going to be on board to go to Buffalo.
So I agree. So there was a lot of teams interested in Antonio Brown when they first agreed that they would trade him, the Steelers. So
a lot of teams have bowed out.
But they bowed out due to not only his actions on social media, calling himself Mr. Big Chest.
Yeah, all that stuff.
And saying he wants to be the highest paid receiver in football. You're already making so much money. So
yeah, he's making like $12 million now, I want to say. I think that's what it is.
His cap hit is $21 million.
I know, but I don't think he actually makes that. I think his real money is 12 and the cap's 21, I want to say, or something like that. But regardless, he's making a good amount of money, and it's good enough, whatever it is, especially for his age. But I just want to say, so the Saints bowed out, the Packers bowed out, we bowed out, but then they were saying we might be back in it, but I don't think we're in it at all, honestly. The latest thing that we've heard now is that the Raiders have been very heavily linked, as Bobby said, and they are the favorite to me at this point still, although the Eagles are lurking, and that is a scary thought for anyone in the NFC.
Oh, yeah.
Because if the Eagles get AB, man, that's going to be some receiving for.
Well, you know, if the Eagles, if they're really serious about this, and they've made a lot of trades, and we'll get into that in a little bit.
Yes, they've done stuff that they can accommodate AB now.
So literally, if you pair him with Alshon Jeffrey, and if they trade for Antonio Brown, and they're going to get rid of somebody, and that somebody's going to be Nelson Aguilar, who's already on the chopping block.
Yeah, Aguilar's going to go soon, brother. It's only a matter of time for him because he has a $9 million cap hit, and they could save that money. And if they end up getting Brown, especially, use some of that to pay Brown.
Absolutely.
So, regardless of Brown or not Brown, I'm pretty sure we both agree that Aguilar is as good as gone from the Eagles.
I agree 100%.
Guess. So, the Eagles, it would actually be a much better landing spot, be way more exciting than to watch them in Oakland with Derek Carr. I mean, maybe in 2 years, like once they figure out their draft picks and stuff and they're in Vegas, maybe it'll be a different story. But next year, that's not going to be fun still, even with AB. Like, what do you think they'll win? Like 5 to 6 games with him, maybe, if they get him?
If NFL had a wins above replacement stat,
he would be at least 2 or 3, I would guess.
Something like that, yeah. But listen, he's the Oakland Raiders are a team that need receivers.
They need everything,
the
like I
Eagles,
said.
The Eagles do not need receivers right now.
Well,
but
you
it's
could
a
argue
luxury.
that because they have Golden Tate's going to be gone. They're not bringing him back.
No, I agree.
And Aguilar's going to be gone. So besides Jeffrey, who's behind Jeffrey? They could use some depth, you know?
But listen, they also have that two-headed monster at tight end that could.
Well, that's true. Ertz is a real good tight end. Goddard's a good tight end. But you still need someone to fill the 2 and 3 spots, is what I'm saying. But they have Gibson, who they like. I'm not really sure who else.
Jordan Matthews is.
You know how I feel about him, obviously, but he's not so great. But he's like a 3 or 4 at best, obviously. More of a 4 than a 3 at this point. So they need someone else, in my opinion, to help that receiving game.
Agreed.
So the Eagles will be a lot more exciting to watch because they could actually compete and it can help them advance in the playoffs. Like I would say, I'm sure you agree with me. If the Eagles get a B, I'm giving them the division.
Yeah,
I'm not thinking twice about it.
He'll definitely. The one thing they're gonna have to do is Doug Peterson getting somebody like Antonio Brown. I think he'll make the offense centered around Antonio Brown. And Alshon Jeffrey's gonna be the two.
Imagine that 3-headed monster: Ertz, Jeffrey, and AB. Oh my God, we do even cover at that point.
That's
going to be tough if that ends up happening. The Eagles fans should be salivating at this. Mm-hmm. I would be pumped at the prospects of getting Antonio Brown.
And the thing is, too, he doesn't let balls go through his hands.
That and the fact that I feel like Philly is a place he would buy in because it's a decent market and they're very passionate about their football.
Absolutely.
Obviously, Eagles fans are, as controversial as they are, I have to say they are some of the best fans in the league. They're very committed, and no matter how bad the team is, that place is always sold out. So, yeah, I mean, I think Brown would embrace Philly, especially because it's a team that can win now. And I'm not sure if winning is his top priority, which is definitely questionable at this point. But if he still cares about that and wants to win a Super Bowl, he has a 10 times better chance with the Eagles than he ever will with Oakland.
Absolutely, 150%.
So we'll see what happens with that. Maybe he'll get traded soon. But the day to watch that he has to get dealt by, where the Steelers might start to get nervous and have to settle for less, March 17th.
Because that's when he's due his roster bonus of $2.5 million.
That they have no interest in paying for obvious reasons.
And they asked him to delay it, and he said no.
Nope, that's not going to happen. He's not working with them. They're not working with him, clearly. They were about to send him to Buffalo, and that would have really been a huge FU if they sent him there. Almost as drastic as you could send him. I mean, what's a worse landing spot than Buffalo? Miami would be pretty bad, but he's from there. They have nothing, no. Lions would be pretty undesirable. I'm trying to think of some other ones for fun. What do you think of some horrible landing spots for him?
For Antonio Brown?
Yeah, let's just go through some for fun. Keep him outside his division because they're not going to do that. Just think about bad situations, bad teams that it just wouldn't do enough with.
Jacksonville.
You don't think it would? I think Jacksonville actually makes more sense than some spots because they need receivers.
They need receivers, but listen, this team went to the AFC Championship game 2 years ago, and since then they're one of the worst teams once again.
I mean, AB could rip up their locker room. Their locker room seems a little fragile, so I guess from that standpoint,
he'll make it go from bad to worse over there, and he'll start in. Well, listen. We all know this, Jules, and you know this. Antonio Brown cares about one person.
Himself, clearly.
And in a way, he reminds me of Terrell Owens,
Interesting.
And Terrell Owens got in his ear, and basically...
Yeah, he's condoning all of this, of course, because why wouldn't he?
But
I'm trying to think of some other bad ones. Okay, Raiders is horrible. Let's see for fun here. Oh, we got some Texas, but I'll check that later. So, Brown... And let's think with the NFC now, some bad ones. I'm trying to think. Redskins would be rough for him, actually. That would be a horrible one. I was thinking how bad that was when they were suggested on the teams. He would hate it there. He would blow that up in a second. That would be horrendous if he was on the Redskins.
That would be disgusting.
I'm trying to think what else is bad. Those are definitely up there, though.
Nowhere would be bad, in my opinion.
Where else?
I think
Titans would be bad,
Titans would be horrible. Who wants to play with Mariota now?
Yeah, he wouldn't like that at all. I mean, they could use another receiver as well, but that's not a good spot for AB, though, as you said. I'm going to surprise you with this one. Falcons wouldn't be a good one because Julio publicly said he doesn't want him there.
Yeah, but Julio wants to be the number one guy, and they already have Calvin Ridley and they have Muhammad
Yeah,
Sanu. They don't need him.
Yeah, that's true. It would be insane if they had both of them together, but it's never gonna happen. They're too opposite. Like they can't coexist because Julio's all business like and AB's all about himself, and that's why he doesn't like AB. And I don't blame him because Julio's way different, and I respect him way more than AB, obviously. But so I'm trying to think of some other bad ones. Cardinals, I actually thought would be exciting if they drafted Kyler Murray and then had AB. I actually thought that would be a cool one, but they bowed out as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, that's about it, I think. We don't need to discuss this. That was just a little fun talk. So, I want to reveal my plan for the Jets free agency. I actually constructed it before the show. And I have some news about the Jets. It's not that significant, but we re-signed our backup center, Jonathan Harrison, so he'll be back in the fold. And we had $93 million in cap before that move. Did you, brother, were you able to see by any chance how much we paid him?
They didn't announce that yet.
Okay, yeah, so that's going to be left alone for a little bit. But I'm just going to break down what I want us to do with this cap space. It's not perfect, but I have a nice outline. I think it's fairly accurate, but I even did the numbers. I didn't just say the players, so I want to make this realistic as possible. So, first thing, Le'Veon Bell. Go get him. That's how this needs to start. And I want his contract to be 4 years for $60 million around, maybe 4 for $65. Pay him like 15 to 16 a year. If you have to overpay 17, 18, fine, just do it. We need this guy. We need offensive weapons. I can't stand when people are saying we don't need him. We do. Tevin Coleman and Mark Ingram are nice players, but they are a fraction of Le'Veon Bell. They do not do the stuff he does to the full abilities he has. They don't catch the ball as well. They don't run it as well. I don't even think they pass block as well. Maybe Ingram, but I'm not too sure. But anyway, that's besides the point. This starts with Le'Veon Bell, 4 for 60. That's what I would offer him and see where that gets us. And then I want to get your boy, Trey Flowers. Since there's news that's notable, brother, what did you hear about Dante Fowler before the show that you shared with me?
Well, I could say this right now that the Rams are going to aggressively try to re-sign Dante Fowler, and he wants to go back to the Rams as well. You go to the Super Bowl.
You want to taste the winning.
Listen, he was so close going to the Super Bowl with the Jaguars, and he lost to who? The Patriots. He goes to the Super Bowl, and who loses to who? The same exact team.
Yep.
So, but listen, everybody loves playing for McVay. Everybody loves LA, and he does not want to go anywhere else. He's expressed that, and it's going to get done. That's all I could say right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think unfortunately, that's another guy off the board for us. All these guys got franchised. There's the talks with Frank Clark and D Ford I'm going to get to later, but I'm just going to wait until we do that because I really want to go through this plan. So it starts with Le'Veon Bell. And then Flowers, I'll give 5 for 80, like around 14 a year. That's what I would offer him. That's where I would start with Flowers, and I'll see what our competition are. The Dolphins, I'm sure, are going to be involved. You guys may make an offer. Indy potentially. A lot of teams are going to be in on Flowers, so we'll see. I think 5 for 80 is a good starting point, and if he takes it, that'd be great. If he doesn't, then we got to look at Ziggy Ansah. Now Preston Smith from the Redskins as well, and there's also who's the other dude? Ziggy Ansah, Preston. I mean, Robert Quinn might get cut. Anthony Barr, yes. And, yeah, the pass rushing market's not what we hoped it would be because a lot of people got franchised. We've already said who a million times, so don't need to go back down that road. So so Flowers 5 for 80, Bell 4 for 60. That's around $30 million right there. Have around 65 left. Then I'm going to address the offensive line because I want Sam Darnold to not get killed. So I'd like to protect him. So I'm going to get Paredes from Denver, 3 for $30 million. I think is a fair offer for him for a center. I see the highest paid center gets 11, so I would give him slightly below that. I think he would probably accept it. We've been linked to Paredes for weeks. I think this is one of the most likely moves of what I'm projecting right now, I think. Then we got Stafford from the Rams, who we've been highly linked to, and I'm going to agree with that. And for him, I'm going to go a little bit more since he's a guard. I'll go 3 for 36 for Stafford. I think that could get it done potentially. So you get 2 linemen, get a pass rusher, get a running back, but I'm not done yet. This was a busy offseason for us, brother. So Anthony Barr, has been a lot of noise around Barr and us. I saw the Lions are the favorite, but I also saw the Jets are not going to be out of it, and we may be willing to give him the most money. So the money talks, as I always say. So if we do that, maybe one ends up with Barr. And I think Barr, his sack numbers they aren't amazing. He's not like a pure pass rusher by any means, but he did say that he believes if he was asked to go get the quarterback more and cover less, that his sack numbers will go up because he does a little bit of everything. That's why I want him on the field. He's a nice 3-4 outside linebacker. He picks it off. He gets fumble recoveries. I mean, he gets some sacks, tackles, all that stuff. So I think he's a good player, and I would say his contract would look around 4 for 45, 4 for 44, somewhere around $11 million for Barr. So you get Barr, you get Flowers, your pass rush is looking a lot better, and you have to pick at 3, so that would be good. Now, I'm going to say 2 more things, and we'll talk about some in-house guys. I want Beanbody Callahan. His name's really weird, but... No, Beanbody, yeah, not Callahan. Actually, it is Count, wow. Alright, yeah, so the slot corner from the Browns, regardless of his name, I guess is who I want. Give him around 3 for 18. I think $6 million is fair. The market value for the highest paid slot is $8 million, so I'll give him a touch under that. And then at this point, we're getting close with the cap. Gonna kind of pinch our pennies a little bit now since we've done all this. And then my last move from a player that's not on our team might surprise you, but Ryan Tannehill. I want him to be our backup quarterback because
since when?
I'm surprised I didn't tell you this yet. But, yeah, I do want Ryan Tannehill because he's familiar with Gase's system. I know he's very injury-prone in this, but he's a backup. I don't need him to play. So I think you can do worse than Ryan Tannehill's a backup, and he's my favorite option because I don't think McCown's going to be back. But if he wants to, sure. I mean, we can sign up for one more with him, I guess. Why not? Sam loves him, and they're good together. So I would bring him back for one more if he wants to. I have no idea if that's going to happen. I don't know if he would take a pay cut. Hopefully he would, because I would prefer to pay him less than $10 million if I could to get some other things I'm talking about here. So for Tannehill, I think 2 for 20 could get it done. What do you think?
Tannehill, yeah, I don't think he's going to demand that much money, especially since he has no leverage, and not a lot of people are vying for his services. So I think that's just fine.
Okay, yeah. So now at this point, we're getting very close with the cap. And I want to re-sign 3 of our guys. That's it, brother. I don't want anyone else back. But I'll tell you, Andre Roberts is a must. They better bring him back. Great returner, Pro Bowler. Our special teams was amazing this year, in large part due to him and Jason Myers, who also needs to be brought back. I want them both getting similar offers, around 2 years for $8 million. Something I think it's fair for both of them. Maybe I think it's decent. So, yes, I think that those would be good moves to keep our special teams intact. And then I want to re-sign Henry Anderson since we're staying in the 3-4. And it's hard to say like what his contract will look like because he was really an anomaly last year. Like he really came out of nowhere, had 6.5 sacks and contributed. But the body of work isn't there for him. So I was talking with Bobby before the show and we were kicking around some numbers. And I was thinking like 3 for 18 or something maybe could get it done for him. Like 3 for 20 potentially. So my numbers aren't perfect, and I'm not sure exactly like how it goes since Harrison got re-signed, but I feel like I gave you guys a good outline of close estimations of what I think the offers could look like. So I just got all the information, used it, and just like researched a little bit to see like what I thought was fair for these guys. So that's what I came up with.
Well, I'll tell you this, it was very thoughtful, very inept with a lot of numbers, and a lot of it, I'll be honest, I don't want to see a lot of I don't want you guys getting Le'Veon Bell. It still bothers me because I feel like, I think it's going to happen.
I hope so.
However, I don't be surprised if he snubs you guys for somebody that unexpected. But I will say this, I think that your list, Jules, of what the Jets need to do is everything of you said, is getting really fixed up and getting the Jets really prepared for success, unfortunately.
And the draft, yes, this is what I like to hear.
So I will say this right now, I don't think you guys get Trey Flowers. I think you guys really make a shot. You tried to do the same thing with Dante Hightower a few years ago. He snubbed you guys to come back. I think that Trey Flowers the other day was at a hockey game, and what did he say? He had the trophy.
To go back.
He said,
"That's what you said."
He said, "Here's 6. We want 7." So when you're a free agent and you don't know what you're gonna do, you're not gonna You will not say those things, especially to a large group of Boston fans.
Well, he also could have been playing the crowd, you know. I mean, you got to say it, like, you got to make him think he's going to come back, you know. But I get what you're saying. Like, it is good for you that he's saying he wants to come back. It just depends, like, how you guys value him and how he gets value in the open market. That's going to be the big test to see what happens. So it depends how much you guys are willing to pay. If you guys want to pay him, sure, he'll probably go back. I agree with you. And I don't think we get him. I'm just saying I would like to get him. I don't think you get him either. I think what you told me originally, I'm going to stick with the thought that he's going to be a Dolphin. That's what I think is going to happen.
They're in it, and Brian Flores is really going to vie
That's why.
for their services.
Yeah, exactly why. Flores will get him, I think. But we'll see. Hopefully he doesn't, because I really would love to have him, obviously. So, what do you think is the most realistic thing out of all the ones I said?
Most realistic?
Yeah. Which one do you think? Forget the guys I'm talking about re-signing. Let's talk about new guys. Which one do you think is definitely going to hit?
I think you guys get Paredes and Stafford.
That seems to be like common knowledge, I guess.
I think that's really, you know, I really do think.
Yeah, because we need linemen, and they already said we're going to be aggressive in free agency with the linemen, so you know we're signing at least 2 linemen. Like, that's going to happen. It's just a matter of who, and I think those 2 guys are the most likely. So, I'm also thinking, what was I feeling? Yeah, so, Flowers and all that stuff, I was looking at the list and stuff of some of the free agents. So, do you want to break down some positions, like try to slide them, see where we think they might end up? Do we want to do rundown some notable players and talk about like where we think their good fits could be? Like, how do you want to go through the rest of this, brother?
Yeah, well, I do want to get, before all said,
if you want to talk about the plan for the Patriots, feel free to, since I just talked about the whole Jets plan.
Well, all I'm just going to say is it's pretty simple with, in my opinion, for the Patriots. What you got to do is you got to, well, we did do something smart yesterday. What was it? We acquired.
Oh, we didn't do. We got to talk about the trades. That's right. There you go. All right, good segue.
So I will get into this trade. The Eagles traded. The Patriots acquired D-end Michael Bennett from the Eagles for a 2020 5th-round pick. In exchange, we also get a 7th-round pick in 2020. So this deal is basically a spitting image of the deal that we traded for Martellus Bennett. And I'll get into him because he vies into this as well, too. So basically, Bill Belichick has been a huge fan of Michael Bennett his entire career.
Okay.
And the Patriots really hard tried to get him from Seattle last year, and it didn't work out. We offered a 3rd-round pick.
That's right. You guys did try to get him. I
forgot.
So
we've been trying to get him for quite some time now, when he fell into our laps. Now, with this deal, a lot of people are wondering, on Twitter and social media, people are asking me, does this mean the end for Trey Flowers? No, it does not. I think it says the end for Adrian Claiborne. So, I think that, pairing Michael Bennett, who is a veteran, with the young buck of Trey Flowers, I think it's perfect. Listen, Michael Bennett is not what he used to be, but Michael Bennett is extremely consistent. He gets you 8.5 to 9 sacks a year. He's always in the quarterback's face, but the one problem I do have with him is that he is very, very vocal. That's
the one thing that you guys, but I feel like
Belichick, he's always been admirable of Belichick.
You guys will be fine with him. If anyone can rein him in, I think it's you guys. And he does talk a lot. He's very outspoken. Some of the stuff he's saying is all right, but sometimes it's a little too much.
The one thing too is he gets a lot of quarterback hits, and that's what I want to see.
Yeah, like he gets in there. Like you might not necessarily get the sacks like you always talk about, but he's in the quarterback's grill a lot. Like he's getting those pressures and the quarterback hits, which is almost just as important as the sacks sometimes.
Exactly, and that's what Trey Flowers does too. So
so it makes sense. When
you have those two on the outside, if you bring back Trey Flowers and then you have Michael Bennett, that's pretty scary.
I really hope Flowers walks, obviously, but we'll see.
But also, since with that trade, there was a report yesterday, and I can confirm that this is true. Tight end Martellus Bennett has always wanted to play with his brother. God. So guess what? He wants to come out of retirement and come back. So you know what? If that's the case, please come on back. We would love to have you, Marty.
Please don't.
We love Patriot fans. Love Martellus Bennett, the black unicorn. Boy. He is something special. He's one of the best blocking tight ends in football. I think him. He
is a good blocker.
I think him and Gronkowski are 2 of the best blocking tight ends in football. Dwayne Allen is up there as well. Obviously, today we can confirm that Dwayne Allen signed a 2-year, $7 million deal with the Miami
That's
Dolphins.
right. That's some more news. Yeah.
So-
Did you talk about Carlos Hyde yet with the Chiefs?
Well, now I'll get into that. Carlos Hyde right now signed with the Kansas City Chiefs, 1 year, $3 million, and from what we were told by Andy Reid, is that Damian Williams and Carlos Hyde will split the carries.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
listen, real quick, they're just trying to make up a
Hunt,
two-headed
obviously.
monster for
Yeah,
Hunt. They
you
had
know.
it into one person. So.
Yeah. So I was also thinking about who else? Eric Weddle of the Rams.
Yes,
Did we do
Eric-
that one yet?
So Eric Weddle yesterday, he was released, and that was a big shock. There was earlier this year, he said if he was going to get released by the Ravens,
He would retire, right?
retire. Well, that's not the case. So he had 12 teams. You didn't hear this. He had 12 teams interested in him yesterday.
Oh wow.
He took 5. He narrowed it down to 5 teams. It didn't take him long. He went to the team he really wanted to go to first, and they sealed the deal. 2 years, $12.5 million, I believe.
That's a good deal
So listen.
for the Rams.
And the Rams did this because they're not going to get back LaMarcus Joyner. This is
Okay.
insurance for LaMarcus
All right,
Joyner.
that makes sense.
And also, I might add, LaMarcus Joyner,
What's up with
that's
him?
somebody you guys should look into because he plays safety and slot corner.
Oh,
so,
like the Honey Badger.
yes. So
Yeah.
basically,
So maybe. I mean.
So-
Yeah.
so in a way, so that's basically the news of yesterday and early this morning.
Yeah, that was
So-
some relevant stuff there.
So,
So let's talk about some more trades and whatnot that went down. The big one that we actually might be the most significant one out of all of them, in my opinion, is the Olivier Vernon and Kevin Zeitler trade.
Yes. So
Because this is a high impact trade for both sides, in my opinion.
Yes, so basically yesterday, the Giants traded their last good defensive player,
Well, Jack Abbott and Alec Ogletree are still hanging out, but besides them, it's pretty bleak. Yeah.
Olivier Vernon to the Cleveland Browns in exchange for Kevin Zeitler,
Yeah.
offensive guard. And to be quite honest with you, I think between this, I think that was one of the smartest moves by the Giants. Olivier Vernon has been nothing but a shell of himself.
He's making too much money.
He's
too.
making too much money. He doesn't get pressure on the quarterback. He's not what he used to be when he
Injury
was
prone. I mean,
when
the
he was
list
on
goes
the
on and
Miami
on with him.
Dolphins. So I will tell you this right now is that the Giants need to shore that offensive line, especially for the future, and because Eli Manning's always getting knocked on his ass every time he goes back to pass. So basically, this was a smart move. Now your offensive line, you got 2 great guards in Will Hernandez and now Kevin Zeitler.
Yeah.
You got Nate Solder, who's hit or miss.
Yes.
And now you could focus on a tackle. And I know I can confirm right now the New York Giants are heavily interested in free agent tackle formerly with the Carolina Panthers.
What's his name
Darrell
again?
Williams.
Okay, there we go. I saw the Bills, I think, are interested in him as well.
The Bills and Giants. It's a 2-team race.
Okay,
right now.
yeah. I think the Giants will get him because they get from
Nobody's talking about one of the
Because
best
they're
offensive
familiar-
linemen in football on the market, Trent Brown. He really played great.
Oh,
So no
yeah,
one's
well,
talking
you
about
know,
him.
I would sign Trent Brown for us, but the reason I didn't do that was because the way I allocated it, I didn't have space for Trent Brown, and I think those 2 linemen are our most realistic guys. Although we need a tackle too, obviously our whole lines, we need at least 2 or 3.
I
solid
could see you
linemen.
guys moving up in the draft in the second round and trading and drafting one.
Maybe, yeah.
I
mean,
think that's where you guys are. You're going to pay big money for 2 things: pass rush and
line.
offensive line.
And hopefully Bell.
And now, like I said, if you don't get Bell, you could fall back and get either Mark Ingram or Tevin Coleman. So you know
yeah.
what? If you don't get Bell, it's a shame. But
I'm going to be upset, but I'll have
but
to
you
live
can
with it,
you could still
obviously.
get a running back better than Crowell.
Yeah, for sure. Like Ingram and Coleman are way better than Crow. Roto World really did Coleman some disjustice, in my opinion. They were saying that he was basically the same as Crow, which I don't agree with. Well, some numbers are similar, but I think Coleman has a higher arc than Crow, just from watching them. I mean, there's more consistency. Crow is very one boomer bust. Like, he either gets like 200 yards or he gets like 2. That's how crazy his arc is. Like, you just can't have that. So, yeah, he's going to get cut. We're going to talk about guys that still might get cut later on, but he's definitely one of them that's probably getting cut within the next couple days.
I agree. So basically, right now, I will say this: Julian and I, because on Monday is the legal tampering period. I can tell you all right now is that Monday you will hear about a lot of deals.
Yes,
Monday and Tuesday you will hear about majority of.
Huge.
Now, what happens with this is the NFL lets you talk to teams. Teams are allowed to talk to players 2 days before free agency actually starts. You could work out a deal but you can't sign it until
Right,
Wednesday.
right,
So
right,
basically,
right.
free agents. This isn't going to be like MLB waiting for players.
Oh my God! Please, no.
Players are going to come off the board like this.
This is what I like to see, and this is how
They're
it should
gonna
be.
they're gonna come off the board quicker than Thanos snapped his fingers.
Ha,
This-
nice one, brother.
So basically,
Endgame, baby. I mean, Captain Marvel is a fun movie, so
So-
Endgame is gonna be sick. Love that segue.
so with that analogy, all right.
I
So
hope I'm gonna make a funny one. The Jets are gonna do that and sign half the free agent market. How about that? I would really like that. Just a snap. Imagine we just do a snap and then we have all those guys I wanted. That'd be nice. But anyway, all kidding aside, back to this trade. I actually love this trade for the Giants. Like, this is one of the better moves they've made to me in quite some time. Their contracts have been questionable for a while. I mean, Olivier Vernon was an overpay. At the time, you can tell it was too because the production didn't match what they gave him. So, yeah, I think this is a great one because they needed to get rid of Vernon. They saved $5 million and you upgrade your offensive line. It's a no-brainer to me. Because the defense is decimated anyway, so you're going to have to get like everything on defense almost. So you might as well just deal with it, I guess, and just get what you can for the guys that aren't going to help you long term, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you is actually, do you think that the Giants are going to cut Jack Rabbit? Because he's a candidate to be cut.
You know what? I think they're going to approach him about taking a pay cut, and if he says no, especially because he's been so inconsistent, I think they wanted him to be like that next shutdown corner when he was with the Rams. Him and Tremaine Johnson were really that great.
You know, it's really funny you say that because what do you think about us getting him and making that 1-2 happen again? How do you think it would look?
I could see that happening. I could see you releasing him and you guys giving him a call, and then because you guys need a second corner right now.
Yeah, we do. That's my point.
You're not going to bring back Mo Claiborne unless it's in a desperate situation.
No, I don't want Claiborne back either. He's not that great, really. I mean, yeah, I don't think he's coming back. And the reason why I have us doing slot corners instead of a more impactful person is because I don't like the corners on the market, really. Like, I don't want to pay Ronald Darby. I don't want to overpay Darby. Like, I just don't think he's worth it, really. And if Jenkins comes on the open market, I think the Jets would definitely pick up the phone. I would be shocked if they didn't, honestly.
Yeah.
So we'll see what ends up happening with that. The other trade that was two minor trades. Gilbert got traded to the Cardinals, the lineman. He was a tackle, I believe. What was his first name? Marcus Gilbert? Yes, Marcus Gilbert.
Of the Steelers.
Okay.
He's pretty good.
So what did they do? A 6-rounder for him?
6-rounder, that's it.
I like the trade for Arizona. I mean, the Steelers, I guess, have to clear cap or something.
They're trying to clear cap, and the Cardinals are trying to that offensive line to protect what their investment
the Cardinals need,
which will be Kyler Murray, and now this opens up for David Johnson to do what he's supposed to do.
That I hope, yes, that's big. They need more linemen though. They need as many as possible. Their line was so bad last year.
Exactly,
their
line was
horrible.
Their line was absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, so that's a step in the right direction for them. And then the other move that was minor, but definitely raised some eyebrows, was the Broncos sending Case Keenum to the Redskins.
Yes, we didn't talk about that. So sending Case Keenum to the Redskins obviously need a quarterback because of the questions surrounding Alex Smith and his leg.
Yes,
and this does not take them out of drafting a quarterback
or trading for Rosen potentially. All that stuff is still on the table.
All that is. Let's just put it to you this way: Josh Rosen will be traded. Let's put it that way. And honestly, I'll tell you real fast. I think where he's going to get traded to.
Where?
He's going to New England. I really do.
Oh.
I think that.
Ooh,
I think Bill Belichick.
Don't do it.
No. Listen, hear me out. I mean.
No, it is possible. It's possible. Go ahead, tell me.
Coming from you, last year at this time, you were telling me you love Josh Rosen.
I still like Rosen, but I don't want you guys getting him. That's why I'm so
here's the
distressed with this possibility.
Here's the thing with this. Here's the thing. I think he gets traded to the Patriots because you know what? I don't think Bill Belichick likes anybody in this draft class except Will Greer, who I really like, because Will Greer said he also knows some Patriots players.
I told you about that before this was even a topic.
So
I just want to get credit for that because I did bring up Will Greer to you.
You did, so I'm happy with that. but if we get Josh Rosen, listen, this guy in college was decent. I think he was destined to fail in Arizona. He had nothing.
Last year was a train wreck.
And if he comes into New England, what we will do, what Josh McDaniels will do and Belichick is they'll center it around him.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's actually similar to Brady because he doesn't move much either. I mean, I don't know how quick he gets rid of the ball. Maybe his work is released. Maybe that's part of the reason why he got sacked a bunch of times. But I think it would be a great fit for you guys. I hope it doesn't happen. If it does, I'm going to be upset because you found your heir apparent. And I really think that with Bill Belichick's system, well, actually McDaniels, but with McDaniels' system and Brady teaching him, that's a scary proposition. And to give him more time to learn and watch the game. Oh, Jesus, please don't let this happen. Don't send him to New England, please.
So, we'll see what happens. And
yeah, because I think that's a great move for you guys if you're able to. But here's the thing with that, why I think it won't ultimately happen. The Redskins and Giants are more desperate than you guys, and that they're gonna give up more than you guys would be willing to. I feel like because I saw the rumors that you guys would be in it if the price stayed around a third rounder. That's what I saw, and I'm sure you saw it too. But if they can only end up getting a third, which would be horrible in my opinion, they might send them to you guys if that's how it goes. But he's a second rounder at least, in my opinion. He shouldn't be a third. He was drafted in the first round last year. He played 13 games for a horrible team. I mean, his quarterback rating was bad, and he was statistically the worst QB in the league, but he had no offensive linemen. He didn't have any real receivers. Larry Fitzgerald and Christian Kirk. I mean, Fitz is a shell of himself, and Christian Kirk is a rookie, and then he went down. I mean, David Johnson, a good running back, but they couldn't block for him. Nope. So he didn't have anything last year. It was a mess. No. So I'm not giving up on Rosen. He's not a first rounder, though, because he didn't show enough to be worth a first-round pick, in my opinion. That's why I think he's a second-rounder, and this is a huge debate that people have.
Coming in
it's a big discrepancy on what people think his value is.
Yeah, and this draft, the team with the most picks is the New England Patriots, and Bill Belichick, after we won the Super Bowl 2 years ago against the Falcons, we had a lot of cap space, and this year we have a lot of draft picks. And I just want to add that next year the Patriots are going to have almost like $80 million in cap space. Just wanted to add that too. So basically, so brace yourself for that one. So
damn it. I don't like that at all.
So basically, with this free agency period, we could all say Julian and I, what I want to do right now before anything else, before it's all said and done,
is up?
I would like to, with every position, I would like to say two top players from that position.
And predict where they're going to go?
And where they're going to go.
Okay, let's do it.
So here we go. So I got the NFL's top 100 free agents by position right now. So
okay. So how do you just want to break it down by position group?
Yes.
So let's start with the quarterbacks then.
Okay.
So you're talking about Nick Foles and Teddy Bridgewater.
Yes.
So we agree with Foles in Jacksonville. Are we still on that train?
Yes, I am. I don't see him going anywhere else. They
aren't doing all the moves. We got to talk about the moves the Jags made.
All right. So
go ahead.
We did not get into that. We will get into that right now. The Jacksonville Jaguars have completely cleaned house. They have released defensive lineman Malik Jackson,
saving $11 million
in cap space. They have released safety Tashawn Gibson and adds to the already stacked safety market.
Yeah, we're going to get to that one in a bit.
They let go of Parnell, an offensive lineman, and they let go of Carlos Hyde. They freed up almost $40 million in cap space.
Yeah, I think they have around 30 now, which is good for them because they really had nothing. This is all to get Foles, basically, or whoever they're going to end up signing at the quarterback position.
This move was to make money so they could sign Nick Foles.
Yes.
It's inevitable. We've known it for weeks. This is where he wants to go. This is who they want. And
the DeFilippo thing is nice with the old offensive coordinator.
Yes,
all the ties it makes sense.
So the thing is, with that, all I could say is he needs more weapons to throw to. That's all I'm saying.
So what do we think about Teddy Bridgewater then?
Teddy Bridgewater? I think he's going to go back to the Saints.
Oh, you think he's actually going to stay?
Mm-hmm. I think he's going to stay, and the reason why is because they really like him. Obviously, they have that guy Hill, but he's more of a gadget player than a quarterback, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's not a real quarterback.
So they need a backup, and what better backup than Bridgewater?
That's true. He is one of the best backups in the league.
So, that's where the top two quarterbacks are going to go.
I think that Bridgewater is actually going to go to MIA. I think he's going to the Dolphins.
Okay.
That's my guess.
That's
I would have
pretty-
said Redskins before the Case Keenum move, but I don't think they're going to do Bridgewater. They're going to either draft someone or trade for Rosen. So I think Bridgewater's not in it for them anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Giants would do Bridgewater either. So
No.
I think Dolphins is where he
Giants
ends
are
up.
going Dwayne Haskins. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But that is the most likely scenario that you just laid out with Dwayne Haskins. But there's also something else notable with that. Eli Manning news. They said that Eli Manning, the Giants have finally confirmed that this is it for him. This is your last ride, Eli, so enjoy it. You got
Yeah.
1 year left. They're not redoing his deal. They're not doing anything to make the money different. They're just going to play it out, the $23 million, and then he's going to go off into the sunset.
Yep.
And that's going to be that.
That's exactly.
So we'll see what they end up doing, drafting the quarterback and whatnot in the next few months. But let's move on to running backs. So we already talked about Bell extensively on many videos. So let's guess Ingram and Tevin Coleman. What do you think?
Well, I'm just going to say, I know you think Bell goes to the Jets. I'm going to tell you this right now. Earlier in the year, I said that he was going to go to the Buccaneers. It was just inevitable. The Buccaneers have absolutely no money.
Yeah, they
So
can't do
I'm going to
that.
change my team. I think Le'Veon Bell is going to go to the Ravens.
Oh,
I
okay.
think he's going to
That's
start.
an upset.
I think he. What better way to get back at the Steelers than go to their
Wow,
arch rival?
that would be really something. I would hate it, but for a football
So-
move and in terms
so-
of entertainment for Steelers Ravens, oh my God, that would be all the way up.
So
That would be much
I
watched
agree.
television if he did
Yep.
that. But okay, so that's a bold prediction. I like that. So what do you think about the other dudes?
So Tevin Coleman, I think it's inevitable. I think he has Jets written all over him.
Okay, well you
I
have
think-
told me that if we
I
don't get
think-
Bell, yeah.
I think if Bell doesn't happen because you guys aren't going to break the bank for him, you guys
I
are
hope
going to.
that's not
You
true,
guys
by the
are
way.
really into Tevin Coleman. You guys really like him. I think he is better than Crowell.
Yeah, he's better than Crow.
you
Enough
saw
of that.
you saw what he
argument.
could do in
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
He could catch the ball out of the backfield. He's a great runner downhill, left and right. He's what you guys need. So I think the Jets are a nice landing spot. And for Mark Ingram, I'll just say this: I could see him going to. They said him to the Ravens. Honestly, you know where I could see him going?
What do you think, brother?
I could see him staying with the Saints.
Really?
But I could also see him going, you know what? I could see him going to Miami, to be quite honest with you.
You know what? They kind of could use someone. I mean, Kenyon Drake's all right.
Yeah.
Frank Gore's a dinosaur, obviously.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, that's an interesting one. I have a different perspective on these dudes.
Let's see.
I'm going to say Tevin Coleman Eagles, since they've just opened up all that cap space, and you saw the thing on New Stadium, how the Eagles are very interested in him as well. And if it goes how I want this to go, we don't get Tevin Coleman. I mean, we get Le'Veon, then that leaves the opening for the Eagles and Tevin Coleman.
Yeah.
But if we don't get Bell, I'm perfectly fine with Ingram or Coleman. I have said that before, I believe, so I'm gonna stick with that. But regardless of that, I think Coleman's gonna be an Eagle, and I'm gonna say what you said. I'm actually gonna believe that hype that Ingram will be a Raven. That's my guess, and I think an outside the box team for Ingram, who I've told you before, Oakland,
You
because
think?
they need a running back, Oakland.
That's true.
So I think he could possibly end up there as well. So the one thing I'm actually nervous about, believe it or not, I don't know if I have told you this yet, but if the Raiders get a B, I'm very nervous that he could lure Bell to Oakland.
That's true, because they're
Which I-
best friends. So
That's what I'm very concerned with. So I kind of hope that AB goes to the Eagles and they just do that so they don't have the space for Bell.
Right.
If they go to Oakland, then I'm worried that Bell might go with him. But I think it depends. I mean, I'm sure we'll both make crazy offers if it comes down to Jets and Oakland, but it just at that point it just depends on his preference and like how he views the situations, I guess, and like how closely he values AB, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, and it'll be interesting. We know they are very close, so it's definitely in the realm of possibilities. I'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So, wide receivers, Adam Humphries. Who's your second rated wide receiver? You think Golden Tate's the second
Yeah.
best? All right, so let's guess both of them. Humphries, I actually had signed to the Jets when I was doing this originally, but I had to scratch him off because I wanted to re-sign our special teamers in the end, and I was getting tight on money, so he was the casualty I had to choose, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a great fit for whoever gets him. He's the best slot on the market. I was looking at his numbers before, like 76 catches, over 800 yards, 5 touchdowns. Very nice for a slot receiver, and that's why I would have taken him, but the way I did it, like I said, wouldn't allow it. So, Humphries, I'm trying to think of his landing spot. What do you think, brother?
Humphries?
Yeah.
You know what? I could see Adam Humphries going to
Who needs a receiver and has money? Let's think. I have one actually. Indy.
He could be used in Indy.
Definitely.
T.Y. Hill. He could be nice accustomed to T.Y. Hill.
They could use a good slot guy. They don't have much behind T.Y.
No,
so I'm going to say Indy for Humphries.
That would be a nice one. I could agree with that. Golden Tate, I think he has Patriots written all over.
You know what?
Him.
Yeah, I've been saying that too. I think
we're in the market for receivers, and you know what?
You'll get him. I agree.
I love that
because he made that comment too that he wants to win, and I think he'll even sacrifice some dollars for you guys. Yeah, sadly, yeah. So I think that's inevitable as well. And the other thing I'll say is that Adam Humphries to the Colts might have a wrench in it because Tyrell Williams and the Colts have been linked. So if they do that, maybe they could. Well, they could get both, I guess, in theory. I mean, they have the money to get both.
I think
do you think they will consider getting both?
They might. I think Tyrell Williams all in all goes to the Raiders, no matter what happens with Antonio Brown.
Oh, okay, interesting. Well, they need bodies, like you said, so that's definitely possible. So tight ends, it's a very thin market here.
Tight end.
Actually, Cameron Brate could possibly get cut, but he's not cut yet, so we can't speculate on him.
Who's the top tight end on the market? Yeah.
Jesse James, maybe? Which is not desirable, obviously. And then Austin Safari and Jenkins is being floated. It's coming back to us, but I don't want us to do Jenkins because I want us to draft Tommy Sweeney.
Nah. Our boy Tommy Sweeney.
No, I really do want us to draft him. I think it'll be a nice tight end set, and I think he has a higher ceiling than Jenkins or Jesse James or anyone else that will be on the free agent market. So that's why I'd be interested.
He has a lot of potential. I'm looking forward to watching him play.
Yeah, wherever he goes, I wish he has a good career, though. Even with you guys, that pains me, but I still hope he does well with you guys.
So with the tight end, I think Jared Cook is the top tight end.
Wait, Cook's a free agent?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So
that changes everything.
Hence, I would say, don't you guys need a tight end? But, Chris Herndon came out of left field, so no.
Yeah, Herndon's solid.
I could see...
I would actually pair the two of them potentially, but the issue is that I don't think it's going to work with, what we need and stuff. I don't think it makes sense.
I think that Jared Cook is either going to stay with the Raiders or I could see him going to a... this is kind of tough because a lot of teams need tight ends.
Yeah.
I could see him. You know what?
What do you think?
I could see the Bengals switch. Tyler Eifert's a free agent. They don't like that.
Anyway,
so they're going to need someone to throw to the tight end. What better way? And Jared Cook could still ball. So
yeah, I mean, Cook was the best part of the Raiders last year, arguably.
Mm-hmm.
So
agreed.
I think so. Jared Cook is by far miles ahead of all these other guys on the market. So you said where for Cook?
For Cook?
Yeah. What spot did you have? Bengals. You have Bengals. Okay. So I'm gonna think for Cook. Where am I putting Cook? Not Jets. No. Bills. Believe it or not, I'm gonna put him on the Bills because they're gonna cut Charles Clay.
Yep.
He's gone already. So they need someone to be their tight end. And who would be better than him? I mean, like we said, he's the best tight end in the market, and the Bills definitely have the money to make it happen. So I'm going to predict Bills. And then for Jesse James, I don't even know. Let's think. What do you think?
For who?
Jesse James.
He'll go back to Steelers.
I'm going to, you know what, I'll say, let me think about this. Patriots. I don't know why.
You think so?
Yeah, well, I don't know. You guys like your tight ends. I'm just throwing things out there. I mean, it's Jesse James. It's not going to move the needle regardless of where he goes. I mean, he's a marginal player, but anyway. Okay, so what other positions are we going to go through?
So right now are we
going through the linemen?
Yeah, we could go to offensive linemen, and it's Trent Brown and Matt Paredes. So
okay, let's guess. Well, Paredes we already talked about.
I agree, 100%. It's going to be the Jets.
What do you think about Trent Brown?
Trent Brown? I think he comes back to New England. I think he circles around. He looks at the market, and we give him just about enough, and I think he stays because we're going to really need him. So
I'm going to say a fit for him that you'll agree with.
What's that?
Not Patriots. Cardinals.
For Trent Brown?
They need linemen.
Okay, that's not bad.
And let's think of how about T.J. Lang? Let's guess him because since we already talked
Well,
about
Roger
the other guys.
Stafford is next, so
Oh, okay. Well, Stafford, I said Jets.
I agree.
I'm trying to think of someone else we can talk about, like T.J. Lang, because
How about Juwan James from the Dolphins? He's pretty good.
Okay. What spot on the line?
He could play either guard or tackle.
Okay. Well, I'll make a guess for him. I guess. Who needs line help and can pay someone? Let's think.
Colts.
You know what?
Colts don't need offensive line, but they could pay and make it much better. But
You know,
I could see him
yeah.
going to, you know where he could go? He'll go to Oakland. I could see
You know
that.
what? I was actually just about to say Oakland, so I agree with you because they need linemen, obviously, and they have a boatload of cap space. What do you think about T.J. Lang?
I think he retires.
Okay. I think he goes to the Packers.
He goes back to the Packers.
Yeah, I think he.
Okay.
Yeah, because they could use him. Their line was pretty bad.
So
But he might retire.
So we'll go right now to the D-line in this top two, and that's Trey Flowers and Ndamukong Suh, starting with my boy Trey Flowers. I'm going to say this. I think he's going to come back to New England. I really do. I think they make it work.
Well, I've already said Dolphins for Flowers, so I'll stick with that. And then the Ndamukong Suh, Oakland.
You know
It
what?
makes so much sense.
It really does. You know what? I'm going to agree with you 100%.
Dude,
Oakland
he
makes
fits their
way...
mentality so much.
Or you know where I could see him going?
Where else?
I could see him getting overpaid by Indy. I could really see that happening.
You know,
too.
that's an interesting one, too. And their team line's very good, and that would be another piece on that team line. And they have the money, like you
All
said.
I'm just going to say is he will not go back to the Rams.
No, he's definitely not going back to the Rams, especially since Fowler's going back. Sue has no chance to go back now. So, Preston Smith, let's do, and Ziggy Ansah. What do you think about
Ansah,
them?
Terrell Suggs, Zadarius Smith is the top ones from the Ravens. I could see Zadarius Smith. You know where he'll go?
What do you think?
Zadarius Smith will end up in Buffalo.
Interesting. I think, well, who could use him? Let's think. Giants. Maybe,
Okay.
Because they need to get...
I'm going to say Terrell Suggs goes to the Giants.
Wow, that would be something. That would be very interesting.
They need a veteran pass rush. There's one right there.
Imagine the Ravens really let him go. You think the Ravens are going to cut the cord with him?
Well, they're trying to re-sign him, but he wants to get paid, so they're not going to really break the bank.
He's played for 16 years.
Yeah,
I mean,
so.
he's been in the league for a while, so it's all possible. So, Preston Smith and Ziggy Ansah, let's put them on teams.
Preston Smith, Redskins.
You think they'll bring him back?
Yep, and Ziggy Ansah. Depending on what happens with Trey Flowers, I see New England could be involved with him. Ziggy Ansah, I'm just going to say, I hate that. You know where he'll go? Miami. I could see him going to Miami.
I think if we don't get Flowers, he's very possible for us.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Preston Smith. One of those guys is going to be
You
a
guys
Jet if we
will
don't
get one.
Flowers.
I wouldn't be surprised you get Zadarius Smith. That's what I think.
Well, I didn't even think of him before you brought him up, actually, but he's in play too. So, I'm going to say Ziggy Ansah. Let's see where I'm going to put Ziggy. I'm not sure how the cap works with this, but I would put him in the Steelers, actually. They could use some pass rush. Who do they really have to go after a quarterback? I mean, T.J. Watt's good, but...
I agree. They have that guy, but yeah, I agree.
And then for Preston Smith, I'm going to say he stuns the Redskins and he signs with the enemy. I think he's going to be an Eagle.
Okay.
Because they got rid of Martellus Bennett, so Michael Bennett, yeah, not Martellus, who hopefully doesn't come back. But yeah, so I think he can be a good fit there. Maybe I don't know if they want to replace Bennett in some capacity. So, all right, so we're off the D line now.
Now we got linebackers, inside linebackers, and
C.J. Mosley,
Anthony Barr, and Kawan Alexander, K.J. Wright. So
okay, those are four good
so
ones.
I'll start with C.J. Mosley, and I think C.J. Mosley gets paid and goes to the Oakland Raiders.
Okay, that's a good landing spot for Mosley.
Yep.
Okay, let me think about this. Linebackers. Who needs linebackers? Giants need them desperately, but I don't think they could afford C.J. Mosley, so I'm not going to put him on the Giants.
And listen, Kawan Alexander's one of the underrated linebackers too. You got a lot of people aren't talking about him.
Right.
So I'm going to say Kawan Alexander. He's going to stay in Tampa. They're going to find a way to keep him.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's very plausible. I'm just trying to see what the story is with some of these cap numbers so I can make some better picks, but where is this?
KJ Wright, I could see him going to, he was on the Seahawks.
Oh, this is updated. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
The Seahawks, KJ Wright, he's going to go to the Giants.
Okay, that's definitely possible.
And Anthony Barr, I think it's inevitable. I think he goes to the Jets.
Jets, baby. Yes, Anthony Barr. I have Jets as well. I'm still thinking about C.J. Mosley. I'm looking at some teams with cap space, and you want to know where C.J. Mosley's going to end up, actually?
Where?
49ers.
Okay.
I think they could use him. They have plenty of cap space.
I think the 49ers go after Thomas Davis.
Okay, then who are the other two backers you wanted me to guess? Quan Alexander and KJ Wright.
Yeah.
Okay, so Quan Alexander, I'm going to actually put him on the Titans.
Okay.
Because I think they could use some linebackers. You know, Vrabel loves his linebackers, obviously, and they have plenty of space for him.
Yep.
And KJ Wright, how about this one? A team we haven't really mentioned that much. Texans.
Okay,
KJ Wright
that's not bad.
adds some more to the Texans defense. Yep. So that's my linebacker take.
So here is the cornerbacks, and it's headlined by Ronald Darby. Let's just do Ronald Darby because everybody else on here.
It's that bad?
It's that bad.
Let me see it.
Ronald Darby.
Oh my God! Oh yeah, it's not pretty.
So,
I mean, we could do Bryce Callahan. Actually, I think he might be worth talking about because he's going to be a prominent name in discussion. So let's do Callahan and Darby.
Where's Darby going?
Not us, hopefully.
I'll tell you where he's going.
What do you think?
Me? Indy. They need corners.
You know what? Yeah, why not? I mean, they have a boatload of money, and like you said, they need corners. So I'm going to agree with you on that one. And then Callahan, I'm going to actually put him on the Browns because they need to replace that dude, Brain Body Calling, or whatever his weird name is.
I think Callahan, I think he stays with the Bears.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's possible. So that's the corner market is very underwhelming.
How about the safety market? Oh my goodness.
The safety market, we have to do like all of them, I feel like almost.
Well, one of them's off the board, Eric Weddle, so let's start with the Honey Badger.
You know, I think we have an outside shot to get him, but I'm not going to say we'll get him. I'm going to put the Honey Badger on... How about this? How about the Packers? I think he'd be a nice fit with the Packers.
That'd be something. I think...
they could definitely use help in the secondary, we know.
I think Tyron...
And they got rid of HaHa Clinton Dix, so they haven't even replaced him yet.
HaHa Clinton Dix. I think the Honey Badger...
He's out there too, actually. So many safeties, man. We don't need any of them. It stinks.
I think HaHa... Well, Tyrann Mathieu, he's going to stay in Houston.
Oh, you think he'll stay?
He really likes it there, and they have a lot of money, so he'll stay.
Oh, all right. I mean, that's possible.
So, and Earl Thomas... You know where he's going? People think it's Dallas. No, I think he gets lured into San Fran by Richard Sherman.
I'm believing the smoke around that one. I'm buying that. And then we obviously got to talk about Landon Collins. And I think it's a two-team race, maybe three. Chiefs and Colts, in my opinion, are going to be the two.
Where's he going?
I think he's going to Arrowhead.
I'm going to disagree. I think he goes to Indy.
Okay, yeah, because that is possible, but I think the Chiefs, he sees what's going on there. He could really complete the defense almost. Well, their defense is bad, but he could really help fix some of the issues they have back there.
Yeah, sure.
And he knows they're a fringe Super Bowl team. I mean, the Colts could be too when all said and done with all the moves they make. They're very good. They made the AFC divisional round, so they're a threat as well. I just think something about the Chiefs will lure them in. I think there's a lot of good stuff going on in KC. So who else is on the safety market? The safety market's crazy.
How about LaMarcus Joyner?
Okay, didn't you say you thought we should take a look at him? You were telling me before.
I said you guys should take a look at him, but all in all, I think he goes to. I could see the Giants looking at him.
You know what? That makes sense, but I'm not gonna put him on the Giants. I'll put him in. Who needs a safety? Got to look at these numbers again. Let's take us. You know what? How about Bills? How's their safety situation looking?
Not really. Well, Poyer and what's his name? They have Poyer and who's the other kid? Hyde.
Oh, well, Hyde's actually good. I mean, I don't know much about Poyer, but maybe. I mean, Bills maybe.
They have Adrian Amos right now for the Bears. He goes back.
You know, another one actually that Bengals could be in play. Yeah. I think.
Yeah. Oh, and we could end it with HaHa Clinton Dix, and he's going to go to Oakland.
Okay. I think HaHa Clinton Dix. Let's see. Since we put Earl Thomas in the 49ers, I'm not putting him on the 49ers. You know what? I don't know why this is so random, but Lions.
Okay.
I feel like they'll overpay.
Because Glover Quinn is a free agent, so.
Okay, yeah. So, no, the Lions I knew could use safety help for sure. And Yeah, that's
basically all the top free agents.
Yeah, so we gave you guys a nice rundown, some predictions, did some mixing and matching. We'll see how many needs we actually hit. Maybe we can do a tally for fun or something like as it's going on to see like who said what and stuff. But for this edition, that's basically all we have time for. I'm Julian Gallardi.
I'm Bobby Thompson.
And we'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like us, follow us, GT Sports Talk, all that good stuff. Thank you. We'll see you.